It was a really close call today. I almost got sick. I was feeling really under the weather. I was feeling like it was a possibility last night, but I went to bed early, ate my field of greens, put those in my juice, and it looks like God has spared me from an illness. I have been really blessed with not being sick, and must be a good immune system or something else. I don't know what it is. But I have been really blessed not to get sick, which is great when you are having a podcast so you don't, have a really deep voice and all like groggy and stuff. But anyways, that's really great. So today I want to talk about, first of all, Amy Pham, my friend, was on Cross Politic. How great was she? Have you not heard that show yet? You need to go over and listen to that show, of course, after mine. But you need to go over there nonetheless. And man, her story is absolutely amazing. She came over through migrant camps from Vietnam, and now she's running for Congress. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, so today I want to talk about being nice versus kind, because it is more and more evident every single day that we need to understand as Christians the difference for when we fight. We have been sold a lie that we need to be nice. Love is patient, love is nice. No, love is kind. And we've fallen for this idea that we need to be nice people, and so we don't fight. And that has led to a lot of issues in our lives, in our politics, in our business, because we don't fight, because we're trying to be nice. And I want to talk about that today. Before we do, we are part of the Fight Laugh Feast Network. Go over to fightlaughfeast.com, put in HtBT in the memo field. You'll get a mug. You'll get a pint glass. You'll get a mug that says HtBT. You'll get a Fight Laugh Feast pint glass while supplies last, which we believe have quite a few left. So please get those. Don't miss out. You don't want to be the last person. In poker, they call it the bubble boy. You don't want to be the last person that doesn't get the prize. But even if you don't get the prize, you still get tons of great content. You are going to get exclusive new shows that are coming out only for members. And most of all, you are helping us fight. You are helping us as we laugh and feast, and help encourage you to do the same. Go over to fightlaughfeast.com, put in HtBT in the memo field. Thank you for everyone who has already done that. I really appreciate that. If you want to reach out to me with any questions, comments, find me on How to Build a Tent on the social media sites. Please like my show, share it. Even if you're not on the social media sites a lot, just going over there and doing it, checking out what's going on the platforms. It really helps me and helps people get to know me and see me on the algorithm. So I appreciate that. You can email me, matt@howtobuildatent.com. Love hearing from you guys. As always, you guys are a blessing, and I'm glad to help you guys and bless you in your careers, in your personal finances, investing, and business needs. Now, one of the things that I got from the interview from Cross Politic is the importance, and actually, Marcus talks about this a lot, or has talked about this before, about the importance of being engaged in politics and being somebody who doesn't just show up when bad things happen or you're being critical, which you should. When there's things to critique, when there are things that are bad happening, you should show up. But making a practice of getting to know your leaders through encouragement, thanks, gifts, prayer, asking if you can pray for them, and building relationships before the critical things come, before you have to stand up for something, before you have to create conflict. Now, this is true beyond politics. This is true in your career as well. This is true with your vendors. This is true with your customers, your bosses. You want to find ways to be encouraging. You want to find ways to be a blessing. This is going to help you when a promotion is available for you. If you have already given somebody compliments before a job opening has happened, and then you go interview with them, they're already going to like you. And it's not going to be because they think you are just wanting to be nice to them to get the job, because you're doing it already before the job opens. And see, you're building a relationship, you're building camaraderie with these people, with the people that are leading you, the people that are in authority. So then those requests seem much sweeter. And, there's quite a few proverbs about that too, about being nice, about giving gifts, not to corrupt justice. That's the differentiation between a bribe and a gift. At least that's what I have read through Proverbs. You're not trying to distort justice. You're not trying to make things unfair, but you're giving gifts to people to be nice, and that will make you more successful in the future. So we need to do that with our leaders as well, even our pastors. Now, I want to say this as well. The reason that we are falling back and losing in a lot of ways and are not successful in our politics, we're not successful in proclaiming the gospel in America, is because our preachers fear men more than they fear God. They're scared of losing their position. Pastors don't make that much money. They don't have a large cushion if they lose their job. They're scared of losing church members. They don't want to scare Democrats. They don't want to scare liberals away. Even though those people are sinning by voting for a party that is slaughtering children, they don't want to lose them. And so we need to be encouraging them, not just saying like, oh, you should preach this way or you should be doing this, but be positive too, giving them encouragement. Thank you for serving. Thank you for taking up the mantle of the responsibility of being a preacher. Thank you for being a deacon. Thank you for being an elder. Whatever positions that you have in leadership in your church, you should be positive in that as well. But we need our preachers to fear God more than man first. And that is probably a really great place for us to, before we go out and try to proclaim the Lordship in all these other areas, we need to make sure that we have cleaned the house, that judgment begins in the house of the Lord. And we need to make sure that we are encouraging, we are, exhorting, I don't know how else to say it, that our preachers need to be men that fear God, and we need to be praying for them most of all. And the last thing I got from the cross-politic interview, and I forgot his name actually, he brought this up. He was talking about Matt Bevin. He works for Matt Bevin, Kentucky governor, a great governor. And he was talking about like what makes Matt such a great governor and what makes him somebody that is a good leader. And what it boiled down to this is leadership that is authentic is actionable. And what I mean by that is if you want to be a leader that inspires action of those who are following you, you need to be authentic. Now, we want oftentimes to be a leader of something that isn't fitting for us. And that's where we get into trouble. And a lot of times in politics, that's where we get in trouble too, is that we have a bunch of leaders that are fakes. They're frauds. They don't believe in the mission. They don't believe in what they're doing. They don't believe in what they say. They don't believe. They don't resonate with people because they're fake. And even if you don't know it, like you couldn't say it, there's something in you that knows when somebody is being authentic or not. And what that does when you are watching somebody who is authentic, that is actually passionate, that is believing in what they are espousing, what they are articulating, what they are doing, their actions, when you have a leader that is passionate about it, it inspires you. Conversely, when somebody is being a fraud and not authentic, they are not going to inspire that same passion. You're going to just kind of see them as hypocrites. You're going to kind of just, that's great. You're not going to want to follow them. But when you as a leader align what you're doing with what you believe, what your core values are, what you are truly passionate about, when you are a leader in your own style and not trying to be somebody else's style, when you're not trying to be like another leader, but you're trying to lead your own way, the way God's called you, the way God has created you, that authenticity is going to be actionable for the people that you are trying to lead. And we're all leaders in some way, with our families, with our kids, with our friends, with our podcast audience. I don't take it lightly. We're all leaders in some way. Leadership that is authentic is actionable. And this is important. It is important to encourage our leaders. It is important to be praying, exhorting our pastors to not fear man, but to fear God. That is, to not fear, not to cower, not to worry about losing the congregation, losing numbers, not about even losing your job, but to fear God and to be fearful that I am not going to do, the pastor is not going to do, the preacher is not going to say what God has called him to because of the repercussions that may come of it. We need to pray for them. We need to be authentic leaders ourselves to lead people because we are in desperate times, in a desperate battle. We are in it for our lives, not just Well, I'm not even talking about politics specifically, although that's part of it, right? God, the Lord is Lord over all. And so this battle happens in every sphere, even in our jobs, even in our families, even in politics. And so we need to lead, we need to preach, we need to have preachers, we need to be encouragers in all these areas because it's life or death. That is, those who proclaim Jesus as Lord is going to have life, and those who deny it have death. Those are the only two outcomes. And to be successful, it's great to follow these principles because you're going to be successful if you do them, because God created the world in a certain way and he tells us how to live and be successful. So when we obey them, it does that. But it's far beyond that. We're successful because of the bigger fight. That is the life and death fight. And it's important because we see things like happening in our world. And I'm just going to take two examples, one political, one cultural. One is Donald Trump. He just tweeted as I was recording this that a report just came out, Google manipulated between 2.6 and 16 million votes for Hillary Clinton in 2016 election. That is, Google is funneling votes. I might have said reports before, but it's 2.6 million to 16 million votes for Hillary Clinton. Why is this important? Specifically from a financial perspective and investing perspective, the United States is a safe haven for the rest of the world, in large part because of our stability, because of our government, because of our politic, because we have had the same document governing us for hundreds and hundreds of years, unlike any other country in the world. Countries have been older than us, but they have all had revolutions after us. They have all changed governments after us. We are the stable government. And if we go down this route where we have businesses undermining politics, our government, our stability, we are going to destroy ourselves really quickly. Investment is going to look other places, other stable places. And so that's something for us to be aware of. Now, I'm running out of time. I'm over already, but I just wanted to re-emphasize the difference between nice and kind, because what I said in the beginning, as Christians, we mistake kindness for being nice, and God calls us to be kind. He doesn't call us to be nice. Think about it. When Jesus was overturning temples, you wouldn't say that was nice. So either Jesus isn't doing what God has called us to do, or Jesus is God and doing perfectly what God calls us to do, and we're just not supposed to be what we think of as nice. Being nice is when you are polite to people and treat people well. We are not always called to be polite. We're in a battle for life and death, like I said. Politeness goes out the window. But being kind is when you care about people and you show them you care. Now, I can't go into that too much detail because we're already running out of time, but I just want you to think about that. Being nice is when you're polite to people and treat people well, something that God hasn't called us to do. God calls us to love people. God calls us to honor certain people. God calls us to love people, but not necessarily be nice. But he has called us to be kind, because that is part of love. Love is kind. 1 Corinthians 13, you hear it in every single wedding. And we hardly can distinguish between nice and kind. Being nice is when you're polite to people and treat people well. Being kind is when you care about people and show you care. Be kind. Don't be nice. Let's go win this battle and be successful together. God bless.